Hi everyone, this is a video introduction to my new series on Christianity and anime, which I announced about a week ago on Facebook. This represents a new direction for this channel. I originally created this channel for video game recording, but over the years I've slowly lost interest in that, and I've had less time to do it anyway. So, for now, I'm going to focus on this series, at least until the new Super Smash Bros. And the new Mario Kart come out. At that time, I may have a renewed interest in video game recording, but until then, I'm just going to focus on this. So, moving on, anime is basically Japanese cartoons, and I first got involved in watching these about 4 years ago. I happened upon a anime called Requiem for the Phantom, and I thought that since one of my friends was into anime, I would check out anime in general, and I just happened upon this one. And its title itself is already a nod to Christianity, so I recognize that. The Requiem being the term for the funeral liturgy in the Roman Church, but other Protestant churches too. And this anime was basically about two people who were forced, after being kidnapped, brainwashed, having their memories erased, forced to act as assassins for an underground crime syndicate. And there's a lot of interesting moral dilemmas that they get into, and themes of redemption are clearly present. Free will is an interesting thing that's talked about. But there's also a lot of nods to Christianity, like I mentioned, Requiem in the title, crosses show up everywhere. There's Armenian liturgical chant as well as Gregorian chant that plays in the background oftentimes, which is interesting, and even a Baptist hymn. At the time I was Baptist, I noticed this hymn written by Fanny J. Crosby called Jesus is Tenderly Calling You Home, and it plays every time one of the characters opens their locket. So that was all very interesting to me, and it made me think, well, if anime is like this, and there are more anime like this, I'll become a really good anime fan at this point. This is pretty awesome. So from there, I basically sought out more anime that dealt with Christianity. I discovered one called Trinity Blood, which basically, it actually has the Catholic Church as the main religious organization. Though it gets a lot of points of doctrine wrong. It's pretty much too vague to really be accused of heresy at any points. But it's a very surface level use of Catholicism, basically just to give a political backdrop. It's used more as a political organization than anything, but that protects the world from vampires and other evil spirits that roam about the earth seeking the ruin of souls. It's very interesting, very funny in some ways. There's women's ordination, so that's one thing they get wrong. But anyway, I was very intrigued by this, and I continued to look for more anime. And there was one like it called Chrono Crusade, which really got me interested because it was kind of playing off of Trinity Blood there with its surface level use of nuns and priests and the Catholic Church being the main religious organization. However, it actually dealt deeper with Christian themes in general, and it actually has a lot of orthodox theological formulations. And so I was very intrigued by this. It follows a Roman Catholic religious order of exorcists as they fight demons throughout the world. Not very traditional style exorcisms. They use guns and other things, and they actually fight demons as they are manifested in the world in this particular universe. But like I said, it gets deeper into it, so you do have a lot more heretical affirmations, but you also have room for theologically orthodox affirmations too, and there were a lot of those, so I was very intrigued by that. And from there, I've just been watching anime for about off and on for about 4 years, and I've noticed these things, and they're very interesting. So I figured I would create a video series about that. So there are a few ways in which Christianity is used. I've referenced them, a few different types. There's basically the first type is just a very nondescript anime that might be about sports or someone going to school or whatever, just an ordinary sitcom type anime, which might deal with Christian themes of, Christian morality, etc. but it's not actually going to explicitly reference Christianity. And so it's just going to be vague moral themes. Sometimes there are themes that you will find in these that are more explicitly related to Christianity, but sometimes it's just going to be a moral theme that's nice, but not particularly Christian. Not exclusively Christian anyway. Though all morals belong to Christianity in the end, the Judeo-Christian tradition. So from there, there's also what I would call spiritual but not religious type anime, where it's a kind of vaguely spiritual narrative that doesn't mention any religion by name, but it deals with a lot of different themes. And these themes may relate directly to Christianity. There are a few examples of this. Habane Renmei is a good one. This is one of my favorite animes. It takes place in Catholic purgatory, pretty much. Now, there's a very Catholic vision of the afterlife anyway. It's not any traditional view of purgatory, but basically the idea is they're stuck here, and they have to work through their problems to get out and eventually fly to heaven. And it's very interesting. It has a lot of good Christian themes, and so it's very interesting. But that's the second type. It doesn't really refer to Christianity or any religion, but the themes do relate. The third type is called anime Catholicism, and now we're actually getting into phenomena in entertainment that actually have words for them. You can look them up on tvtropes.com. This type I've already referenced two in this category, which would be Trinity Blood and Chrono Crusade, where it's basically the religious organization which is mentioned. It may be mentioned in passing, or it may actually play a major role in the plot. It actually claims to be the Catholic Church, but it gets doctrine wrong on many points. And there's a lot of different fatuous, kind of perhaps mocking representations of the Catholic Church. But these are very interesting, and some of them are very good and orthodox, as I mentioned. So they're interesting to show, and I would show them to y'all. So the last type is a trope called Crystal Dragon Jesus. And yes, no, I did not make that up. It is actually called Crystal Dragon Jesus. And it is basically, it describes the phenomenon in entertainment where an entirely fabricated and pagan fantastical religion is used, but it takes almost all of its, or it draws heavily, or takes almost all of its trappings and imagery from Christianity. So there may be parallels between it and Christianity, but you aren't going to, basically because the creators got lazy, I guess. But anyway, so you'll see a lot of different references to it, but it's not going to claim to be Christian, so it can justify the heresy that it affirms, but it also has a lot of parallels to Christianity, so those are very interesting. And lastly, I just want to, in conclusion, talk about the different types of videos I'll be doing. I mentioned two of these on Facebook, but there's a third type that I'll be doing as well that I'll mention. The first is just basic raw video footage of an interesting moment in anime Christianity that I've seen, and I'll just post that video and that will be that. The second type is one of a deeper theological theme. It's a scene that showcases a deeper theological or philosophical theme, and I will comment on that with video commentary. I mean, well, I don't know what else I would do, but anyway, sorry about that. The last type will be one where I basically look at a particular Christian theme which shows up, a recurring theme in a particular anime. For example, Chrono Crusade, I mentioned, has a recurring theme of the Communion of Saints, a Roman Catholic Orthodox, Roman Catholic Eastern Orthodox view of the Communion of Saints. That is its recurring theme, basically. It goes all the way throughout it. So I would basically take all of the instances in which the Communion of Saints is mentioned in anime, in Chrono Crusade, and is used, and I would comment on it and talk about how it's used. So, and analyze just the different things about it. So basically that's it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. God bless all of you.